The prequel era of Star Wars is undisputably one of the most famous, authentic, and beautiful eras in all of Star Wars, with the prequel era spanning from the Phantom Menace to the rise of the Imperial era in Revenge of the Sith and the Purge of the Jedi. The prequel era truly emphasized the Jedi's rule and how they needed to be changed in Luke Skywalker's own vision of the Jedi Order as a whole. Throughout the prequel era, many acolytes of the Force that dwelt in the galaxy far, far away sought a new sense of power, with beings such as Kit Fisto, Plo Koon, and many others seeking more power and becoming some of the most highly decorated and accoladed Jedi of the age, with Asajj Ventress also being one of the most powerful of the prequel era. But who is the most powerful character of the prequel era? Through years and possibly even months of countless research, I have deduced what I believe is the top 10 most powerful prequel era characters, spanning from Jedi to Sith to something more entirely. This is the most comprehensive top 10 most powerful prequel era Jedi and Sith ranked. Coming in at the number 10 position, we have Kit Fisto. Kit Fisto is widely considered to be an oddball among the Jedi Order, due to his status as a lightsaber proficient user and a master of Form 1 Shi-Cho. Shi-Cho obviously being the first lightsaber form that all Jedi are learnt once and taught once they are inducted into the Order as younglings. Shi-Cho made Kit Fisto famous, and while he mastered it, his dueling skills would not be up to scratch when facing Darth Sidious, Emperor Palpatine, possibly the most powerful Sith of all time, who ended up killing him. Kit Fisto has been numerously compared to Plo Koon, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Aegon Kolar, and Saesee by many, and is considered to be, alongside Koon, possibly the greatest Jedi of the Clone Wars era. Kit Fisto was able to contend with many beings, and including Asajj Ventress, but not limited to her, and was considered to be one of the greatest swordmasters in the Order, even above the highly decorated Plo Koon himself. His force abilities were such he was able to create a huge ball of energy while in the water. However, his skills could not match up to someone I have previously mentioned in Plo Koon. While this might seem biased due to the fact Plo Koon is my favourite Jedi of all time, and possibly one of my favourite characters in all of Star Wars period, I assure you his feats speak for themselves. Plo Koon was considered to be one of the greatest duelists and force wielders of the entirety of the prequel era. He was able to protrude from his Keldorian flesh an emissary and torrent of yellow force lightning that would become to known as electric judgment, that was capable of incapacitating and ripping the arms off a criminal while he was empowered by justice. Plo Koon's lightsaber skills were such he was the only Jedi that could ever beat Master Yoda in the duel, considered higher in regard and esteem to the legendary swordmaster and jeweler in Saesee and Kit Fisto, and widely considered to be one of the most powerful Jedi after the departure of Dooku. He is widely considered to be, and widely esteemed to be, on the level of Obi-Wan Kenobi. However, he would fall short to Obi-Wan Kenobi as his powers progressed through the prequel era. Despite Plo Koon's powers, he still failed to make his inevitable death a thing, and in the end, he was murdered by his clone comrades. Coming in at the number 8 position, we have possibly the most well-liked and famous Jedi of all time. Coming in at the number 8, we have Obi-Wan Kenobi. The rival of Sith Lord Darth Maul, Obi-Wan Kenobi ranks number 8 on this list. His feats speak for themselves. He was a Sarisu master, capable of defeating the newly christened Darth, who was amped by the dark side of the Force, and George Lucas had stated he was a level 8 in Revenge of the Sith, alongside Mace Windu, meaning that during Revenge of the Sith his power was comparable to Mace Windu. He was capable of honing his skills in Sarisu that he was considered by Mace Windu in a deleted scene to be the greatest master of the form that has ever been created. Obi-Wan Kenobi's force skills, while not up to scratch, possessing a below-average midichlorian count, was such that he was able to work hard and persevere, making him one of the most powerful Jedi of the era. Obi-Wan was able to contend with and defeat the newly christened Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, one of the most powerful Sith Lords of all time, and who is considered to have been able to slaughter armies of Jedi, alongside legendary swordmaster Sindralik. His swordmaster skills were highly decorated and is widely considered to be one of the most powerful Jedi. Coming in at number 7, just after Kenobi, is his rival, Darth Maul. While many would argue Maul should be below Kenobi, Maul, as of the prequel era, has been confirmed multiple times to be Kenobi's superior. A savage striker with a brutal lust for revenge, Darth Maul, now known as Maul, along with his brother Savage Opress, have killed multiple Jedi, including the famed Jedi Master and Jedi High Council member Adi Gallia, in combat, with Savage killing her. Maul was an exceptionally talented duelist, being able to outduel Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi simultaneously. Was able to nearly kill Darth Sidious himself, one of the most powerful Sith of all time, during his brutalized training. Was trained to perfection by Sidious as a Sith assassin, the purest form of a Sith underling. Was capable of contending with Obi-Wan Kenobi and, albeit in circumstantial environments, was able to prove to be the superior of Kenobi during the Clone Wars multiple times. However, Maul's arrogance still shrouds his judgment, and he has still found his end multiple times on the receiving end of the Republic or Kenobi's own hand, and eventually, even in Rebels, was killed by Kenobi one final time. Jumping forwards in what I believe is the most exceptional jump of skill level in the entirety of this list, we have Count Dooku, possibly the greatest sword master of the entirety of the prequel era, besides possibly Grandmaster Yoda. Dooku's skills in Swordmaster were such that he had bested 2 Jedi Masters when he was just a Padawan, leaving that only Yoda was capable of training him and perfecting his art in lightsaber combat. Specializing in Form 2 Makashi, Dooku was able to outduel Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Anakin Skywalker. Even while Anakin was amped by the dark side of the Force in Attack of the Clones, he later would prove to be the superior to Dooku, though, due to Dooku's old age. Dooku was an exceptionally powerful wielder, capable of generating blue torrents of Force lightning that could cause smoke to protrude from Anakin Skywalker's writhing corpse. Was capable of outdueling Obi-Wan Kenobi. Capable of being equally or even more skilled in lightsaber dueling than the legendary swordmaster Mace Windu himself, who had pioneered his own lightsaber form. Despite this, Dooku still succumbed to some dark side powers, like the ethereal magics of the Night Sisters. Conveniently, coming in at the number 5 position at the halfway point of this list, we have Mother Talzin. Mother Talzin was the leader of the Night Sister Coven during the final waning days of the Republic. A dark side acolyte who had originally meddled her teachings with Sith artifacts and ancient dwellings orchestrated by Darth Sidious. Mother Talzin was an exceptionally powerful witch, considered to be even superior to Dooku, as she was able to utilize her magics and utilize a voodoo doll in order to control and torture Dooku from around the galaxy, while she was on Dathomir and he was on his home planet of Sereno having a nap. Mother Talzin was such that in the Son of Dathomir comic series, an original script designed from the cancelled 7th season of the Clone Wars TV show, she was able to contend with Darth Sidious in a Force clash, and was only overpowered and forced to shield herself when Count Dooku, who was weary, joined in the clash. Her lightning, disproved, while not up to scale, was still capable of contending with Darth Sidious's immensely powerful Force lightning. Personally, one of my favourite characters, she very well could be ranked higher based on interpretation, but for now she resides here as the leader of the Night Sisters. Coming in following position in the number 4, we have Mace Windu, the pioneer of Vapad, the most dangerous lightsaber form ever engineered and one of the most powerful Jedi of all time. Mace Windu's story and dedication to the Republic is truly something to be noted. Mace Windu's lightsaber skills were such he was considered to be the superior or equal to legendary swordmaster Count Dooku, who was ranked 6th on this list, and was capable of besting him in a lightsaber duel after he had fallen to the dark side. Mace Windu was capable of channeling the dark side into his lightsaber form, utilizing his opponent's hatred and power in order to boost himself by enjoying the fight and utilizing Vapad. Mace Windu was considered to be second in the order only to Yoda until the rise of Anakin Skywalker as the chosen one. Mace Windu was also handy without a lightsaber, being able to absolutely decimate thousands of B-2 super battle droids with his bare hands, punching them and loosening their wires, being able to force crush General Grievous's ribs and nearly kill him during the attack on Senator Palpatine and Supreme Chancellor Palpatine, prior to the events of Revenge of the Sith. He was only killed due to Anakin's intervention. Coming in at the top 3 and kicking it off, we have Anakin Skywalker. Anakin possesses over a dozen accolades, claiming him as potentially the most powerful Jedi alive, or of the Order's entire history. And while those claims, I believe, are a bit overstated, Anakin's power truly is something to be noted. Anakin was capable of using his lightsaber to block a Jedi Temple destroying laser beam fired by Separatist forces, while he was still a Padawan. He was capable of dueling with Asajj Ventress and was capable of making fun of General Grievous. His attitude and fearlessness also made him the hero of the Clone Wars conflict. His flying skills meant he could outmaneuver most Separatist droid carriers and battle droids, and was considered to be the best flyer in the entire galaxy at his time. Anakin's dueling skills were such he was considered by George Lucas to be a level 9, alongside only Palpatine and Yoda during the events of Revenge of the Sith. And after falling to the dark side, he is only maimed and tortured through Obi-Wan Kenobi's deceptive maneuvers and through his arrogance and dark side ambience. Coming in at the number 2 position, we have the Avatar of Light, the Supreme Master of the Jedi Order, the fiercest, most implacable, most devastatingly powerful foe that the darkness had ever known, as the Revenge of the Sith novelization states it. Yoda's story spans centuries. Yoda has the capability and is widely shown and declared to be the most powerful Jedi up to his time, surpassing legendary Jedi such as Revan, Satele Shan, and many others, although his powers, in my opinion, were not up to the standards that Revan possessed. Yoda's immense power in the light side of the Force and adherence to the Jedi made him possibly the most powerful Jedi of his era, as we here on the channel certainly believe. His lightsaber skills were such he was capable of defeating the legendary Swordmaster Count Dooku and Mace Windu, defeating Dooku twice in a lightsaber duel and sparring session. He was capable of out-dueling Darth Sidious, possibly one of the most powerful Sith of all time, in a lightsaber duel. However, he was forced to flee their engagement, but was able to contend with him in Force powers until Darth Sidious gained the edge. Yoda's Force experience was such he was said to have trained thousands of Jedi in his time and lived for over 8 centuries. Yoda was extremely powerful, but he falls short to his Sith match and dark side equal. Coming in at the number 1 position, you all should have expected this. We have Emperor Palpatine. Emperor Palpatine is widely considered to be the most powerful Sith Lord of all time, or alive, or of the Order's entire history. He was capable of ragdolling Maul and Savage Opress with ease, capable of contending with Mother Talzin in his weakened variant, killing Darth Plagueis the Wise, although he did use manipulation and wine in order to get him drunk, manipulating himself to the top of the galactic food chain by becoming Supreme Chancellor, shrouding his Force persona and dark side nexus attitude while sitting in mere meters away from Jedi High Council members such as Yoda, Kit Fisto, Plo Koon, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, all of which are ranked on this list. Palpatine's manipulation allowed him to gain control of the galaxy, bringing Darth Bane's Sith line to an end and bringing about the Sith Grand Plan that had been in the works for 1 millennia. Culminating the rule of 2, Palpatine is the most powerful Sith Lord of his time, and of any Sith Lords who would come afterwards. His Force lightning was such he was nearly able to overwhelm the Phantom Menace of Grandmaster Yoda. Well, my friends, that was, in my opinion, the top 10 most powerful prequel era characters. Palpatine takes the cake for this one. However, this is only a mere smidgen of the power that these characters possess. I did not mention Count Dooku defeating Mace Windu in a lightsaber duel, Palpatine's ability to nearly best Yoda in a sparring session, Darth Maul killing 2 Jedi single-handedly. This is just a taste of the power that these characters possess. Goodbye, my acolytes. This is where we part ways. I hope that you have enjoyed this content and would like to support this series. I'm beginning a new series where I cover the top 10 most powerful characters from certain eras. Following this, we will have the Imperial Era, going over characters such as Mara Jade, Palpatine, Starkiller, and Darth Vader. Goodbye, my acolytes. I bid you farewell. Please check out my other channel, the One Channel to Rule Them All, that covers all Tolkien lore and Lord of the Rings content, if you were interested in that subject. Goodbye, my friends, and may the Force be with you.